0 in favor of Deadbones. We're going to go ahead and wipe that poll. Go ahead and tell us who you think is going to win Game 3. Can Deadbones 3-0 BagelDenizen, or can BagelDenizen claw his way back from this quarterfinals best of 5 series?
You know what? I think Bagel actually has a good shot. He was really close that game. That wolf timing attack has a lot of potential. He just needs to know when to pull out, because he just stayed there too long. He's decided now to swap out those lizards in his build for artillery, and I think that's a really good decision, because he was not building those lizards at all. And I don't know about artillery, but I think anything could be better than lizards in his current build, at least the way he's playing it.
Yeah.
So here we go, going into Game 3. Deadbones to the west end of the map in the green, versus his opponent Bagel to the east end of the map in red. And I should point out, if Deadbones takes this game, he goes on to the semi-finals. So Bagel needs to win this to stay in.
We've got a nice, lovely road in the middle. Again, a highway between both bases. Be nice for players reinforcements along that main road. The bases are all spread out over this map. Nice even spread for both players. Safe expansions. Deadbones is a little bit closer and on a hill, whereas BagelDenizen has to walk around a little bit to get to his expansion. So make it a little bit more difficult for him to reinforce, but his main base is very defensible, with only 2 entrances in the same cardinal direction. Here we go, turn on that commander visions. You can see what they see. Bagel's gone for it.
Deadbones decided gone for a more greedy build, actually. He's decided to ditch the 7 farm warren he usually goes for, and is going for an 8 farm warren. So maybe recognizing this map is quite big, and he can actually get away with that really easily. The amount of time it takes to reinforce across the map means that Deadbones will have a fairly even army if Bagel goes for an early attack. And Bagel's just gone for the 7 farm warren again. Just the standard stuff.
Yeah, we'll look at these graphs here. You can see how that 8 farm has affected it. You can see Deadbones coming a little bit ahead. Just a little bit of food there, food advantage. So maybe not a huge difference in the long run, given how quickly BagelDenizen got that other farm there. But here we go, army values. Deadbones coming a little bit ahead. Deadbones has gone for the classic Deadbones base down in the south here. We'll see if Deadbones, or if BagelDenizen ever scouts it. A lot of times, Deadbones will take a base across the map and just absolutely pile on farms. And his opponents will be confused as to why they're not ahead economically. It's because scouting is important. Always scout the entire map.
Especially against Deadbones.
Especially.
Oh, but it looks like Bagel's actually going to spot this immediately. He's going exactly to where it is.
Let's see, has he? He is. He's gone up on the ledge, so he has scouted it, and Deadbones has canceled those farms there. So Bagel's going to get a free 60 food here. Not a huge loss, but still, Deadbones has been thwarted, at least for the moment, until he takes this northern base. Because why not?
He's just going to go for that one instead. Because, you know, there's no more secret expansion. I just took out the secret expansion, and now he's going in for an attack right now.
All right, fight here, and BagelDenizen squirrels are all around the map. Some of them have reinforced, but they're all coming back in right now, and Deadbones is going to get some free Warren kills out of this, it looks like. Takes down one Warren. Is he going to be able to take... No, he doesn't get it. He isn't able to take down a second one, and now BagelDenizen is has an advantage here. Now would be the time to counterattack. As
the expansion.
It's going to take out this expansion, yeah. It is a free 60 food. Deadbones, of course, expanding down here. We'll see whether 120 food is enough to put Deadbones at a disadvantage, but remember that he had those 8 farms slightly ahead of BagelDenizen.
That's true, and he's built that expansion before BagelDenizen as well, so BagelDenizen may be focusing on just ending the game right now. He has a quite strong army. Looking at army value, is much stronger than Deadbones. And with that ferret, he can really do a lot of damage to those structures.
Alright, there we go. Green squirrels coming in from the north against the red squirrels. Lots of pigeons flying out in the front, but that's okay, I guess. The green squirrels managing to beat back a little bit. This last ferret didn't quite reinforce in time. It looks like Deadbones might be okay for the moment here. Reinforcements again from BagelDenizen running along that road, getting a little bit of a speed boost, but looks like he has fended off BagelDenizen's attack here, and is going to start pushing out himself. I don't know if
Yeah, with Deadbones actually has more tier 1 runs than Bagel now. So he can reinforce way faster, and with these midfield engagements like this, I think that really pays off. He's starting to lose the fight now, but he can just pull back, and if Bagel decides to push forward, he will just destroy him again.
It's true, looking at this army value, BagelDenizen has pulled way ahead in terms of army value. Almost twice the army value now. It looks like New Zealanders have just been reinforcing 15 squirrels and almost 2 ferrets against Deadbones. Oh, yes, Deadbones also has 15, just without those ferrets. And he has just created that last warren, though. So, staying equal, a little bit of focus on econ in the beginning. He's on 9 farms to BagelDenizen's now 4. So 5 farms to 4 now. We passed that 5-minute mark. The first 4 farms have been taken out, and now BagelDenizen realizes he might be in trouble. He doesn't have his expansion up. He's going to go in for the attack right now, taking out that sniper balloon.
Oh, no.
Ferret's firing from the back here, but he's losing too many squirrels retreating. In this game, especially with this patch, retreating is a terrible idea. Your opponent's squirrels get free shots on your own squirrels. Looking at the army value, very much closer now. Deadbones shot up to begin with, but much closer army value.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that a lot of the army value is from Bagel's ferrets, which are actually doing fairly poorly in the latest fights. Like these midfield engagements, Deadbones' squirrels just seem to do a little bit better, and he's building more expansions than Bagel as well. Bagel's only just got his expansion, he's only just got a few of his farm starts up, but Deadbones has already farmed quite a lot.
Deadbones, of course, scouting this expansion, seeing that it's up, seeing how many farms his opponent has, and adjusting his strategy accordingly. BagelDenizen outside the front of Deadbones' base. Those ferrets do a lot better when you're able to poke with them a little bit, and I think these engagements just haven't been long enough for those ferrets to really make a huge difference. Ferrets' rate of fire, although their DPS is pretty high, 10 damage for every shot, the fact that they fire so slowly means that in a lightning engagement, they're not going to do a whole lot of damage. You might as well just have more squirrels for the amount of food that you sink into ferrets. Deadbones with his own ferrets out now. 18 squirrels for Deadbones to 15 for BagelDenizen. So Deadbones is going to pull ahead here. Now he's exactly even in army value.
This is interesting, very interesting. But Bagel does have that nice high ground, stopping Deadbones from really doing much with the map. Bagel's got control of pretty much all of the relevant map. Deadbones can still expand to the south end.
Ooh, and a bold move here.
Okay.
Bagel, oh, maybe not deciding to build it. If he did build it, he might have spaces to put down his sniper balloons or his artillery and lock Deadbones out of this northern part of the map here, but army value is not quite in his favor. Decides to put a sniper balloon back down in a little bit safer position instead.
Yeah, it would be a little bit of a risk to try and take that position because it would put him down behind on army value. And if Deadbones did a really good timing on his attack, he'd be able to take down those defenses before they properly go up. But it would be a really interesting strategy to see, especially seeing as he's just taken these artillery. He hasn't really shown us any of his uses of them yet. But he decides to go for that northern base right at the top of the map instead, while Deadbones is just pushing forward on this road with his ferrets, just poking a little bit. And now he's put down a forward sniper balloon as well. That's going to give him some good map control.
Alright, here we go. He's seen that BagelDenizen has his own sniper balloon out there, so a little bit of a standoff here. Remember that high ground doesn't do as much of doesn't make as much of a difference as it could otherwise because both players have pigeons, and pigeons will give you vision onto that high ground. But Deadbones recognizing that fighting into a sniper balloon, even with a horde of tier 1s, isn't a great idea. Throwing down artillery instead. We'll see if BagelDenizen spots this in time to prevent it from going up. Deadbones is going to poke with his ferrets. We'll see. Bagel may not have actually spotted that artillery going up. Otherwise, he would have rushed in like we've seen him do before. Instead, focusing on getting some economy going up top. So pulling slightly ahead in terms of economy. But Deadbones is going to start picking away at the... Unfortunately, no ferret shots landing on pigs. The pigs slightly dodging. But smart ideas there from Deadbones to try and pick away at the economy of BagelDenizen while BagelDenizen's up and away in the corner of the map.
This is an interesting position right now, where Bagel has put a lot of his food into more farms right now, but Deadbones has put his food into that defensive position with that artillery, but it's still ahead on army value. he's still doing really well on army value because Bagel hasn't been developing his at all during this time. He's putting down artillery right outside that natural expansion, and he's working on that northern expansion. But Deadbones just like instantly puts all of his farms onto his new expansion, and that's going to be up and running really quickly, and putting him in an advantage very shortly, I think.
All right, well, both players with artillery out right now. Deadbones is gonna. Oh no! And both of his ferrets got taken out with an artillery shot. He was trying to bait that artillery fire as much as he could, but the ferrets and artillery have the same range. So as soon as those ferrets get within range of the artillery, they start to fire at the ferrets instead of the commander. So unfortunately for Deadbones, losing both those ferrets. But Deadbones does have 15 farms to BagelDenizen's 13, so the longer this game goes on, the farther ahead he's going to pull in terms of economy. Bagel is deciding to put down... Oh, those farms are kind of in harm's way right now. He sells one of them and tries to put it back. Here we go, though. That ferret able to pick away at that mill there because of that sniper balloon's vision. And there's not a whole lot that BagelDenizen can do right now because as soon as he moves forward, that artillery is going to come into play. So he's going to go for the wolf. I think this is going to be the key to his strategy. Getting that wolf out and trying to push through, maybe to the south. Yeah.
He's have to push away from that front line, definitely, because even with the wolf, like that doesn't help his squirrels whatsoever against the artillery. So he's going to have to play this really carefully. I think going for the wolf is probably the right idea, because the longer he waits on his buildings right now, the more Deadbones is going to pull ahead with his nice farm placement. He can't take that gristmill in the middle of the map anymore because Deadbones has got such a good position. And he tries to push forward and he just, half his army gets destroyed. And Deadbones might even be able to use this to push forward. Maybe he's just going to keep poking, like there's no disincentive to him doing that.
We'll see both players with artillery, so the ferrets are going to have to do the job in the meantime. 4 ferrets out for Deadbones right now. He's going to be able to take out a fair number of squirrels if the poke continues. Some ferret shots landing from BagelDenizen, not quite getting those ferrets out of the way in time, but pigeons coming in to save the day and heal those ferrets. Deadbones has started his own foxes. Fox is out. There it is right now. It is on the field. So we'll see if he can use that and his ferrets to poke through. Here we go. 6 ferrets now for Deadbones. Lots of ferret shots. BagelDenizen trying to...
He's realized he can't really build those squirrel armies anymore thanks to all these artillery, so he's just building loads of ferrets, and now that he's weak in the army, he's just going after squirrels.
Oh, and a huge number of squirrels from Deadbones falling all at once. Almost all of his squirrels getting taken out. He does have a nice safe defensive line to fall back to, but mistake from Deadbones, getting just barely in the range, and Deadbones is going to throw down another piece of artillery and another sniper balloon to creep up his defenses.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Looking at army value here, Deadbones is pulled ahead, but these army values are ridiculous. There we go, those 6 ferrets managing to take out that artillery, so tanking those shots, and in the meantime, but here we go, Wolf Buff is out.
Oh, Wolf.
Melting through the units. That artillery from Deadbones is out now. It's going to start firing back as well, and the rest of BagelDenizen's army is taken out. And Deadbones charging in now, taking out the sniper balloon that's left with his army of squirrels. Only 3 ferrets left, with the fox backing up the army. And this spells the end for BagelDenizen. 16 farms for Deadbones. Bagel has a lot of farms. He's still got 11, but his units just aren't reinforcing fast enough to be able to stop this economic damage that Deadbones is doing. Here he goes up into that.
Breaking through that defensive line has just left BagelDenizen completely defenseless. These units mean nothing to Deadbones' offense right now.
And this is the end. Deadbones is going to move on to the semifinals, unless BagelDenizen can put. No, he can't. So surrendering. Deadbones is going to move ahead into the semifinals. What a match!
That was a great match. BagelDenizen putting up a great fight there, taking that mid game fairly decisively, taking that midfield with that high ground base. He was doing a good job there. That was really close.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we're going to take this back to the casting desk. We're going to see what people think. We're going to do some analysis. So I'm going to pass it back to you guys.